Yo, what's good, my people? Y'all know who it is. Y'all know what it is. Let's get into this. So, Fat Joe has been taking a lot of criticism for something that he stated that was absolutely facts. Unquestionable, undeniable facts. But for whatever reason, people are trying to say that Puerto Ricans were not involved or not part of the beginning of hip-hop. And I say Puerto Ricans just because hip-hop, as everybody in this undisputed, was created in the Bronx. And if you know anything about the Bronx, especially in the 80s or the late 70s or whatever, even to today, the Bronx is little Puerto Rico. Straight like that. Especially back then. Now you see a lot more Dominicans, you see a lot, Ecuadorians, you see a little bit of everything, and it, whatever, and that's a good thing. But back in the day, you could not go past any street in the Bronx without seeing a Puerto Rican flag hanging from one of the fucking the telephone lines, or tens of 100 Puerto Rican flags on the fire escapes and the windows, and that is, listen, it is what it is. It's undeniable, unmistakable. But furthermore, listen, man, I don't understand where this came from, where this discussion or this debate came from, but it's upsetting. And I'm gonna say this too, like, you know what? As much as people want to say that black people don't have many rights and all that, and that I'm gonna say this, and I'm speaking for for who I'm speaking for. I feel like Latino people at large really don't have rights. They really don't. We get the shit end of the stick. Nobody gives us credit for anything. Nobody, and I'm talking for all of us. I'm not just talking about Puerto Ricans. I'm talking about Mexicans. All of us are Latino, and Mexicans are targeted and just, abused, and all of them. I'm talking about South Americans, Central Americans, all Dominicans, everybody, we get the shit end of the stick. We don't get credit for anything. We're viewed as immigrants or people that are stealing jobs, criminals, all these things. We get blamed a lot more than we get credit. And this discussion about Puerto Ricans not being involved in the beginning of hip-hop is just stupid to me. Because anybody that really knows what went on, where this came from, where it started out, which was Bronx River, knows that that's just false. Busta Rhymes said that shit too. He was in a concert doing a performance, and he said that, plain as day, that Puerto Ricans were there and were a big part of hip hop being started, hip hop culture. Now, just because there wasn't a Puerto Rican artist back then, and the first artists were black men mostly, that doesn't mean that they weren't involved. And hip-hop is more than just music. Hip-hop is a way of life. Hip-hop is a culture. Hip-hop is breakdancing and graffiti and slang and the way that you carry yourself. Hip-hop is more than just... See, rock and roll is rock and roll. Rock and roll is a music genre. Hip-hop is a way of life. Hip-hop is a way of that you carry yourself, the way that you speak, your swagger. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more than that. And to say that Puerto Rican people weren't involved in that is stupid, and it's just, at this point it's upsetting. Like I said, I don't understand why everybody, and it seems to be, and I'm going to keep it official, it seems to be like black people just want to separate everything from separate from everybody, and they don't want to, like I said, to me, we are all one, because I understand my culture, I understand history, but it's just sad and it's upsetting, and for one time, I'm with Fat Joe. I don't understand where this criticism or where this debate came from, or why we are even talking about this. Because at the end of the day, I mean, even though I know that it's true that the Puerto Rican people, what does it really matter? Why do we need, why does everything have to be claimed? We have to, okay, well, only black people can have braids, only black people can talk and act like this, and only black, like, you know. So when we see a black person eating some pernillos, or you know what I'm saying, or should we get offended? Should we say, like, you know, no, you can't? No, I don't understand this. I really don't. I don't understand why everybody is so gung-ho to separate from each other. The police don't give a fuck. They're willing to put us all together. Just like, go to any jail in America, whether you're in the East Coast and you got Puerto Ricans and blacks and Dominicans, or you on the West Coast or down south where you got Mexicans and fucking black people. We're all in the same category. Not to mention, we all have the same blood running through us. And whoever wants to say that, then educate yourself. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. Educate yourself. Educate yourself on the slave trade, and where most of the slaves didn't come to the Americas. Most of the slaves went to South America. They went to Brazil. They went to Central America. That's why you have Panama. That's basically just black people that speak Spanish. And they don't speak all the way Spanish. They speak broken, like, you know, they speak Spanish, but you have more black people in Brazil than you do in the United States. You had Cuba, who was flooded with nothing but black slaves, and the Caribbean at large. You know, like, so please, miss me with the bullshit. And miss me with the whole Puerto Ricans and Latinos did not have nothing to do with the start of hip-hop. I'm tired of this. This is really getting annoying with all the bullshit and people that are chiming in and trying to take credit and try to discredit people that were there from the start. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. And it's sad. It really is. I don't understand why we have to boil everything down to race. Why everything has to be associated and we have to, like, separate ourselves. You know? It's sad. It really is. Anyway, yo, y'all be good out there. Y'all be safe out there. If you know, you know. And if you don't, educate yourself. Figure it out. You know what I mean? And until the next time, peace.